And welcome to day 3 of the 2019 MIAA Baseball Championship here in Pittsburgh, Kansas at Al Ortolani Field. Good morning, everyone. I'm Shelby White. Today's matchup will have the Lions of Lindenwood being the home team against the Lions of Missouri Southern State University. These two teams have taken two drastically different paths to get here. For the Lions of Lindenwood, they opened up this tournament with a 3-0 loss to Central Oklahoma on Thursday at 9 a.m. This is the Lindenwood Lions' third 9 a.m. game, because then yesterday at 9 a.m. they defeated Northwest Missouri State by a score of 4-3. Mitchell Krebs hitting a solo home run to right field gave the Lindenwood Lions their victory. Meanwhile, for Missouri Southern, they won their first game against the same Northwest Missouri State Bearcats by a score of 4-0. Then they were blanked by Central Oklahoma 2-0. 3 consecutive hits in the fourth inning, including back-to-back doubles by the Broncos, gave Missouri Southern their loss in this tournament. It's the number 2 seed versus the number 6 seed. Clash of the Lion Prides here. Defensively, it'll be the Lindenwood Lions taking off first, and they're going to go from the battery. Roach and Sosnowski first to third. Fisher, Krebs, Schulte at short, Vinny at third. Nowalk, Miller, and Beckman left to right. For the Missouri Southern Lions, their lineup: Mike Million. The center fielder will lead off. He's followed by third baseman Freddie Landers. Right fielder Troy Gagan. Denver Coffey, the shortstop, hits cleanup. Dexter Swim playing second, bats fifth. Matt Miller is playing at first base, batting sixth. Caleb Nutting is the designated hitter, batting seventh. John Layton, the catcher, bats eighth. And Ryan Hunter will bat ninth in left field with Zach Shoemaker on the bump. Getting set here for the first pitch. Starting pitcher, Brody Roach for the Lindenwood Lions, and it is a cool gray morning, much as it was of day 1. Yesterday was a completely different story. Blue sky, sun was out for the majority of it. Rather warm day. Now we're back to it being a bit cool. First pitch from Roach to Million is fouled right back into the netting. No balls and 1 strike here. Yesterday, Mike Million made a phenomenal defensive play in the top of the fifth, running full sprint to center field and laying out to make a catch. The 0-1 is sent out of play down the left field line, and it's caught just in fair territory. Third baseman Vinny lost sight of it. He ran all the way to the wall, but coming in and taking over, making the catch, was the left fielder Nowalk for out number 1. That's going to bring up Freddie Landers, the first baseman. Landers in the box yesterday against Central Oklahoma was 1 for 3. Watches a strike there on the inside corner. Hit a single and he struck out. Landers also drew a walk in the bottom of the ninth, but that was all Missouri Southern was able to do. The 0-1 is sent into center field. DJ Miller will get underneath it and grab it for out number 2. And efficient pitching thus far in the early goings by Brody Roach. Here's another look at it. You can see right there, it was a nice swing from Landers, just got under a little bit. That allowed Miller to cruise underneath and get the catch for the out. A couple of young pitchers on the mound today between these two. First pitch will be ripped foul down the line, and boy, that had a long flight travel, but it was well foul. Batter's Troy Gagan. Roach on the mound for Lindenwood, just a freshman. This is his 15th appearance and his 9th start, and that'll be a line single right back up the middle. That pitch got too much of the plate, and Gagan able to jump all over it for a 2-out base knock. Miller got to it quickly, and then because it had rained last night and early this morning, turf is a little wet, had a little bit of trouble throwing it in, but Gagan, a right fielder, was content with the 2-out single, not trying to do a little too much with the ball being right in front of him. So now I'll bring up the shortstop, Denver Coffey. See how the young freshman can handle working out the stretch, and he'll jam Coffee. Going back in out of foul territory is the catcher Sosnowski, and he'll make the catch. Had to keep fighting it as it was drifting back toward him from the netting, able to snag it with 2 hands. So a 2-out single is all the Missouri Southern Lions get, and that will do it in the top of the first. We go to the bottom half of the first. It's Missouri Southern nothing, Lindenwood coming up. Back after this on the MIAA Network.
These are your teams, your players, your community of fans. This is where they play, where they practice, where you cheer. At every meet, every event, every game. Your community is passionate, dedicated, supportive. You know the tension of a close game and the thrill of the win. So while you're cheering, keep an eye out for anything out of the ordinary. If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
We've got our heads in the game,
our minds in the classroom,
our hands in the community,
and our feet ready for the world.
We're a part of the NCAA Division II experience.
Using our skills
at our universities and in our communities. I chose the MIAA.
I chose the MIAA. MIAA, the spirit of our communities.
A relatively quiet top of the first for the Missouri Southern Lions. They did get a 2-out base knock from Troy Gagan, but it was all that they got stranded there at first. For the Lindenwood Lions in the bottom half of the first, they're going to be led off by their shortstop, Colby Schulte. He's followed by Mitchell Krebs playing second. DJ Miller, the center fielder, bats third. Kyle Stevens is the designated hitter and the cleanup hitter. Neil Fisher, first baseman, will hit fifth. Bryce Beckman in right batting sixth. Ryan Sosnowski, the catcher who made caught the last out in a nice foul ball snag, will bat seventh. Ryan Vinay, the third baseman, bats eighth, and Calvin Nowak, the left fielder, will bat ninth, with Brody Roach, the freshman, on the mound. For the Lions, they have sophomore Zach Shoemaker on the bump, southpaw, and now he's going to take his first pitch against Schulte. Schulte, yesterday against the Bearcats, went 1 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Although he did have an RBI with a sacrifice fly in the third. The 1-0 to Schulte, right in there. 1 ball and 1 strike. Good to see that Shoemaker did not let missing with the first pitch affect him, even this early going where both teams are fighting for their seasonal lives. The 1-1 is fouled, and it hit a light pole and ended up back in play, and the home plate umpire is going to ask for the ball from Shoemaker, and that's the right call. Hitting it, you never know what it may have hit up there. Could have hit a rivet and caused a dent or a chunk to come out of it, which will make the ball move in an unnatural fashion, making it both harder to hit and harder to catch for the catcher. The 1-2, that's a curveball, and that was a wet baseball, and it slipped right out of the hands of Shoemaker, and it flew to the backstop. And we're going to see a lot of that, I feel, today with how wet the turf is. It is turf, so you can clean it a lot easier than grass and dirt, but it still has a tendency to retain moisture. The 2-2 swung on and missed by Schulte, went chasing on a fastball low and away and can't come up with anything. First out of the bottom of the first on the Lindenwood Lions. Mitchell Krebs, the second baseman, will come up. The savior of the Lindenwood Lions season yesterday. Krebs 3 for 5 with 2 singles, but the big hit was a solo home run in the top of the 9th to give the Lindenwood Lions a 4-3 victory over the Northwest Missouri State University Bearcats, knocking the Bearcats out of this year's 2019 MIAA Baseball Championship. The 0-1 is fouled back to the backstop. That first foul ball hit the very top of the new baseball facilities built here at Al Ortolani Field for the hometown Pitt State Gorillas. That's no balls and 2 strikes on the left-handed hitting Krebs, lefty-on-lefty matchup. The 0-2 fouled and out of play. Let's go ahead and get you the defensive setup for the Missouri Southern Lions. It's Shoemaker and John Layton as the battery. First to third, Matt Miller, Dexter Swims, Denver Coffey, the shortstop, Freddie Landers. The 0-2, that one will be grounded to Swims at second, catches it on a hop, and I'll sling it over to first for out number 2. A little bit of a stressful bat there with the foul balls, but Shoemaker able to bear down and get the final out. Lastly, moving from left to right in the outfield for the Missouri Southern Lions, Ryan Hunter, Mike Million, and Troy Gagan. So now it's DJ Miller, the center fielder for the Lindenwood Lions, and he'll take the first pitch he sees down the line and out of play, foul of right. Miller, 2019 All-MIAA First Team Center Fielder. It's interesting because in their first matchup against Central was Oklahoma. You had the top 2 MIAA center fielders in Miller as well as Randolph of Central Oklahoma. The 1-1 is in there. 1 ball and 2 strikes. On the season, DJ Miller is a very strong hitter. 378 batting average on the year coming into this tournament. Additionally, he's got a 439 on-base percentage. He'll foul the 1-2 off out of play. Shoemaker along looking at Layton as catcher. The kick and deal. Swung on and missed, and Miller cannot catch up with the high fastball. Strikeouts to bookend the inning for Zach Shoemaker. And 1-2-3 goes Lindenwood in the bottom of the first. We've played one. No score here at Al Orlani Field. Back after this with more of the 2019 MIAA Baseball Championship.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
Top of the second, score 0-0. Dexter Swims will lead things off for Missouri Southern in the top of the second. And he'll swing and a miss at the first pitch, and that was a man hack from Swims there. I mean, he put all of his 5'11" frame in that swing. The 0-1, that's a breaking ball that'll drop down low and miss the zone. Good eye by the freshman out of St. Louis, Missouri. The 1-1 fouled out of play. And I misspoke. The second team All-MIAA center fielder was Brock Ruminer of Central Oklahoma. When I ended the inning last inning talking about how DJ Miller was all first team MIAA senior in the center field. The 1-2 fouled, staying alive is Swims. Following Swims, it will be the first baseman Matt Miller and then the designated hitter Caleb Nutting. The third 9 a.m. game for the Lindenwood Lions of this tournament. Played at 9 a.m. against Central Oklahoma on Thursday and 9 a.m. yesterday against Northwest Missouri State. averaging 2 runs a game. They were blanked by Central Oklahoma on Thursday and then won 4-3 yesterday. And Dexter Swims is not letting anything get by him. My goodness. Those have been some good swings that he's just under. He's got the pitcher Roach timed right now, it would seem, at least on the fastball. But he just can't quite get solid contact. The 1-2, and he'll fight off a curveball. Next pitch of the at-bat will be the 7th. A lot of moxie out of this freshman. Taking his time to compose himself, getting in the box. The 1-2. That one will be grounded to short, where it's picked up by Schulte. Over to first in time for out number 1, but that was a heck of a battle by Dexter Swims. And he's got to be happy going back to the dugout, knowing that while he did not get on base, he did his job as a leadoff hitter and forced Brody Roach to throw a multitude of pitches, giving his teammates a good look at his repertoire. That'll be the first baseman, Matt Miller. We'll see a 2-seamer catch the bottom of the zone, strike 1. Good turnout in this early morning by the Missouri Southern fans. The 0-1 is sent up high, and Broach is going to come in and make the catch. And then he's going to seed it over to his third baseman, Vinny, for out number 2. Roach was almost underneath it, and then he took a couple steps out of the way in order to make the proper baseball play, if there is one, you could say, and letting his infielder secure the catch as opposed to taking it himself. That makes there nobody on and 2 out for Caleb Nutting, and he will rip that ball that he sees down the line of right, and it's off the wall in the middle of the point, and it gets away from Beckman in right, and cruising into second with a 2-out double is Caleb Nutting. Whew. That ball hit the outfield fence in a hurry. My goodness, if he pulls that anymore, that is a line drive home run, because that hit the wall about halfway up, and then it just kept rolling away from Beckman in right. A little surprised DJ Miller didn't come over and try and help out, but as it is, it's a 2-out double for Missouri Southern, here with the batter being the catcher, John Layton. Looking at his catcher, who's going to try and mix up the signs from Roach. Sosnowski. The 0-1 is a late breaking ball right through the heart of the strike zone. The ball's in 1 strike here in the top of the 2nd. Roach will check the runner and deal. Swung on and missed by Layton. A big breaking ball that Layton swings over the top of. So now Roach trying to get around a 2-out hit for the 2nd consecutive inning. This time, though, was an extra base hit. Roach will come set, check Nutting at second, who's being held by the second baseman, Krebs. Wind and deal. That's a curveball. It's going to bounce and get away from Sosnowski, allowing Caleb Nutting to advance to third. That was a tough play for Sosnowski there. Did his best to try and get over in front of it, but it was very far outside, and with it being a curveball, it just bounced away. A wild pitch attributed to the freshman Brody Roach. One ball and 2 strikes. Now runner 90 feet from pay dirt for Missouri Southern. Ground ball. That'll be yanked foul, a third. Right on that. If a little early, was John Layton. So reset and do it again at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Defense straight away for Lindenwood against Layton. 1-2 sent soaring over toward the Missouri Southern dugout, and it will be fouled out of play. Missouri Southern Lions getting some good looks off the freshman Brody Roach here. First inning was basically 1-2-3, stress-free 7-pitch inning. This one a lot tougher, and there's going to be a ground ball pass. Schulte into left field, scoring nothing. The Missouri Southern strikes first here in the top of the second. A 2-out single, a wild pitch, and 2-out double, wild pitch, 2-out single. And that is how Missouri Southern will take a 1-0 advantage. Now we get to see how the young freshman can compose himself after giving up a couple 2-out base knocks. Facing off against Ryan Hunter, and Hunter will swing and come up empty on a ball low and away. Hunter yesterday against Central Oklahoma was 0 for 3, excuse me. With a two strikeouts, and then a line out to short. That line out started a phenomenal double play by Central Oklahoma's Ryan Harrell. Harrell lunged to his left, made a catch behind the bag, and then dove and touched second to double off the runner. The 1-1 sent up into medium deep left field, where Nowak will drift over and make the catch for out number 3, but not before the Southern Pride of Lions are able to draw first blood. To the bottom of the second, it's Missouri Southern 1, Lindenwood 0. Back after this with more of the 2019 Baseball Championship here on the MIAA Network.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not run Division II cross country for the University of Mount Olive. Having an athletic and academic scholarship was key for my success. Our coaches were really helpful with balancing out my academics and athletics. I decided to attend graduate school because I wanted to become an athletic director. Receiving the postgraduate scholarship through the NCAA provided me with the flexibility to choose the school that I wanted. So now I know that I can accomplish any goal that I set for myself.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Well, two out hits allowed Missouri Southern to take a 1-0 lead here in the very early goings over the Lindenwood. For the Lindenwood Lions, it'll be the 4-5-6 hitters. Designated hitter Kyle Stevens leading things off to face the left-handed throwing Zach Shoemaker. Shoemaker, a power pitcher, if there ever was one, with 73 strikeouts in 83 innings of work. However, with that power comes a bit of erratic control, as he also has 41 walks. The 0-1 will be grounded into left field. That's the Lindenwood Lions' first base hit of the game. It's a leadoff single by Kyle Stevens and bring up the first baseman, Neil Fisher. Fisher, yesterday against Northwest Missouri, went 0 for 2. He'll take the first. He sees send it into shallow center field. Where getting behind it is Millen, and he'll make the catch for out number 1. One pitch, 1 out. And now it's on the shoulders of Bryce Beckham to keep things going for Lindenwood and trying get that one run back. And the first pitch from the lefty is low, ball one. Does a little bit of a sweeping slide step with the runner on from his stretch. And as a lefty, it adds an added bit of deception, as though the runner will never know if he's going toward first or toward home. The 1-0 swung on and missed by Beckman. Beckman yesterday in the 4-3 win was 1 for 4. He had a single in the fourth and scored on the sac fly by Ryan Vinay, and that was it as far as anything noteworthy for Beckman's day. 1-1 swung on and missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes now. Middle of the infield for Missouri Southern, set up in double play depth with Coffee and Swims hugging second base. The 1-2 is fouled back to the netting. Layton popped up as if he wanted to try and throw down and nab the runner off of first. Very clean uniforms worn by both teams today. Standard road gray worn by Missouri Southern with their hunter green and an MS on the left breast. The 1-2 once more fouled out of play. It's accompanied by a matching hunter green piping on the pant leg and a nice hunter green hat. Meanwhile, for Lindenwood, crisp white uniforms with black letters and numerals and a decorative serif font with lions written across the chest. The 1-2 swung on and missed. Curveball had Beckman swinging over the top of it, and he'll go down as the second out of this inning and becomes the third strikeout victim of Shoemaker today. So now the batter will be the catcher, Ryan Sosnowski. Let's take a minute to discard his shin guards as he was unsure if he'd be hitting or not, with a runner in first and 1 out. Sosnowski caught every game of Lindenwood's thus far. Pickoff throw to first, back standing up is the runner Stevens. The winner of this game will immediately turn around and play at 45 minutes following the conclusion of this one. At approximately, the game's been lasting about 3 hours, so at approximately 12:45, the 1:45 as we started at 10, against Central Missouri, number 1 seed in this tournament. The 1-0 will be soared into the gray sky and fall harmlessly out of play down the right field line. Infield more relaxed in their defensive positioning now for the Lions. Coffee standing very deep at short, starting out in shallow left field and then taking a few steps onto the brown turf to represent the infield. So that third baseman Landers is a step and a half off the third base line. Though 2-1 inside, 3-1. That's a good 2-strike pitch, though, as that starts right in the heart of the plate, and then it would have ended up at the back knee of Sosnowski. But with the count being 2-1, he's looking for something flat, so he's able to lay off easily. The 3-1 swung on and missed. There's the flat pitch that he wanted, but he cannot catch up with the heat. And the count will be full. Miller, the first baseman, will hold Stevens so he doesn't get quite as big a lead and a free jump, with the count being 3 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch, Miller takes off, ground ball underneath the glove of Miller at first and into right field. Rounding the bag and heading for third is Stevie's ball dropped by the right fielder Gagan. And with someone more fleet of foot, he might have been waved around third. You take a look at it right here, and that's a hard play for Miller. He's told to hold the runner to keep the lead short, not let him have a walking lead over towards second with 3 balls and 2 strikes, and that goes right where he would be positioned normally on defense into right field. And because Stevens had that head start, he's able to go first to third. Lindenwood has an opportunity here to tie the game up with runners at the corners and 2 out. Third baseman Ryan Venne, is up. Venne, 1 for 2 officially yesterday. He struck out, hit a sacrifice fly in the 4th, and hit a double to start off the bottom of the 7th. Then he was pinch ran for by Jace Mag. Mag eventually came around to score the 0-1. They're going to check down. No, the home plate umpire is going to say that Venne did go around on his swing, so it's no balls and 2 strikes here. And left-hand hitter, you're going to have to be very careful on what happens next. The 0-2, that's a sharply breaking ball going down. Venne will spit on it. Nice job by Layton, smothering it. One ball and 2 strikes. Shoemaker takes a deep breath, comes set, and deals. Swung on and missed. Fastball right at the numerals, and Venne cannot catch up with it. Strikeout number 4 for Shoemaker. We go to the top of the 3rd. It's Missouri Southern 1, Lindenwood 0. Back after this on the MIAA Network. Top of the 3rd, Missouri Southern leading Lindenwood by a score of 1-0. And we got 2 hits in that inning. Had a single to lead off the inning, and then a single with a runner on first and 2 outs. But they were unable to come up with anything post that. Leading things off for Missouri Southern in the top of the 3rd. That'll be the top of the order, and Mike Millen. Millen flew out to left to begin the game on the second pitch that he saw. No balls and 1 strike on Missouri Southern center fielder. And he'll take the 0-1, line it into left past a diving attempt of the shortstop Schulte. And once again, Lions have a runner on in the inning. Thus far, Brody Roach, the freshman, has yet to have a clean inning. Nice compact swing there by Millen to drive it by Colby Schulte. And the batter will be Freddie Landers, who flew out to center. He swings at a curveball in the dirt. Great block by Sosnowski. dropped to his knees, hunched his shoulders over, put his glove between his legs, making as wide a surface as possible for that ball to hit and then to die on. And he was able to keep it in front of him and prevent the speedy Million from advancing. Long set, now the pitch on the lower inside corner, strike two. And Landers not happy with that one. Stood in the box in a silent protest for a few seconds, then as he backed out, went and asked home plate umpire Ramon Hernandez if that was indeed a strike. Throw over to first, dive back in by Million. No tag applied as it was on the home plate side at first, so there was no point for Fisher to try. But it does keep Million a little closer. The 0-2 has sent into left field. Going back is Nowak, and he's going to watch it off the wall. Hit the very base of the wall next to Chilstein. Then Nowak had a little bit of trouble picking it up. And it's back-to-back hits for the second consecutive inning by Missouri Southern. And they're in a golden opportunity to bust this game wide open in the early goings. With runners on second and third, nobody out. And now there will be a mound visit. Coming out, talk to his young pitcher. It's going to be Zach Pierman, Inwood's pitching coach. Try and calm him down. Nobody up in the Linwood bullpen just yet. It still is only the third inning. So he will be all over for Roach to keep things at this one-run deficit at the moment. That was a really great piece of hitting by Freddie Landers. Can't really emphasize enough. He was down no balls and 2 strikes, and he found a pitch that he could drive, and he did not miss. And initially, from the way that Nowak was reacting in left field, I thought it was a home run. But then it hit the middle of the wall there in left, and it got out there in a hurry. And I think if Landers hits that to right as opposed to left, even with how quickly it got to the wall, there might be a chance that Million scores. Now Troy Goggin will dig in for Missouri Southern. And it's a ball low and away. Goggin singled in the first with 2 outs, and then he was left there. Infield brought in for Lindenwood as they need to keep this deficit at 1. The 1-0. That one's sent down the line and right, and almost hit the chain link fence in the bullpen, I think. So now it's 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1 just missing. 2 balls and 1 strike. Outfield for Lindenwood is straight away. Wind blowing in from right. Not nearly as harsh as it was the last few days. The 2-1 will be sent into center, right field, Beckman will make the catch. Tagging from third and coming in to score is Million, but staying put at second base is Landers. And already Missouri Southern has a 2-0 lead here in the third inning, and they can add on more. Ball kept drifting over toward right, and Beckman got everything behind his throw, but with how deep it was, there was no chance that he could cut down the speedy Million from third. So now there's a runner at second with 1 out, and Denver Coffey, the shortstop, will be up. He watches the ball bounce off the glove of Sosnowski and go to the backstop. And Sosnowski calling time might have been crossed up on what pitch was coming. That hit right off the thumb of Sosnowski's catcher's mitt and then went to the backstop. Going on down to third on the pass ball is Landers. So scores 2-0 here in the top of the third with one out and a runner at third once more. Lindenwood's infield will be brought in. The 0-1-0 check swing on a curveball. They appear down to third, and first base umpire Brad Polk says Coffey was able to hold up. 2 balls and no strikes. Coffey, a .277 hitter on the year, but very productive when he's given the chance. He's got 35 RBIs. The count being 3-0. It's also worth noting that Coffey has drawn 21 walks, so he is a very patient hitter. The 3-0 foul out of play. Coffey, as a junior, earning the trust of head coach Bryce Darnall to swing away on 3 balls and no strikes. Most of the time the batter will take when they get to a 3-1 count. The pitch. Big bending break curveball that will drop in for strike 2, run the count full. On deck is Dexter Swims. Inning started with a single by Million and a double by Landers. Sac fly by Gagan, swing and a miss on the curveball in the dirt. Throw down to first by Sosnowski, and he'll immediately backpedal to home to cover the base on the off chance that Landers gets any ideas to trying to take home. But it's a strikeout of Coffey. Saw right there, Sosnowski looked down to third to check Landers. Then he kept running to get a good clean line to his first baseman. Fisher made a strong throw and completed the strikeout. I bring up second baseman Dexter Swims, who in his first at-bat grounded out to his second base counterpart, Mitchell Krebs. First pitch fouled out of play over on the first base side. Swims was really the first batter to kind of get in the head of freshman Brody Roach, as Swims was retired after an 8-pitch battle. Now that's a ground ball. Sliding catch by Schulte at short. What a play to end the inning and prevent another run from scoring. What quickness by Colby Schulte there at short. Take a look at it one more time. Great play and reaction. So to the bottom of the third, it's Missouri Southern 2, Lindenwood 0. Back after this with more of the 2019 MIAA Baseball Championship.
Label me.
You know you want to.
Don't be shy.
You do it behind my back.
So say it to my face.
You don't know me.
You know what I am?
I'm a pitcher.
I'm a striker.
I'm a point guard.
I'm a linebacker.
I'm a setter.
Shortstop.
High jumper.
Wrestler.
Defender.
Goalie.
Student.
Student athletes.
That's who we are.
It's not about where you were born. It's not about your gender or the color of your skin, or whether you're rich, poor, or in the middle. No matter what you play, if you have the skill and drive to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
It's 2-0 Missouri Southern. Lions having runners all over the place thus far, but only able to get 2 runs. Bottom of the order, 9-1-2 for Lindenwood. It's Calvin Nowak. He'll watch ball one miss high. After Nowak, he'll head back to Schulte and Krebs, the 1-2 hitters. Nowak will take the 1-0 and spoil it down along the left field line. Yesterday, it's Northwest Missouri. Nowak was 2 for 4, hit a triple in the third inning, was brought home on a sacrifice fly by Schulte, and hit a single in the fourth. After that, pop out to short and struck out looking in the 8th. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and he'll take it and send it into center field. Short, compact swing, able to stay in behind the ball and put a nice little line drive into center field to start the Lindenwood Lions half of the third inning. That'll bring up Colby Schulte. Pickoff throw over to first, diving back in is Nowak. A little bit of a shorter lead with a left-handed pitcher on the mound, but Nowak gets back in time. Schulte struck out swinging in his first at-bat, and he'll watch a backdoor slider catch the outside corner. Down to 6 teams in this 2019 MIAA Baseball Championship. The 0-1 lofted right back into center field past the outstretched glove of Swims, who was playing closer to second in double play depth, but being only 5'11", came up just short. So now, once again, Lindenwood has a nice opportunity here to get on the board with 2 runners on. Next batter, Mitchell Krebs. Krebs, the second baseman, grounded out to Swims at second. Now he's going to square on the bunt, lay it down, and it's going to be picked up by the pitcher. Shoemaker. His only play is to first, and he'll get there in time. Perfectly executed sacrifice bunt there by Mitchell Krebs, and he will get a lot of applause and back slaps from his teammates when he gets to the dugout. So that will put 2 runners in scoring position with just 1 out. Now the batter is DJ Miller. With first base open. It is early, but there could be an intentional walk of Miller. First pitch. Out of the side, ball 1. Miller on the year, a 340 hitter. Excuse me, a 376 hitter. The 1-0. Outside 2-0, and you can see right here Shoemaker is trying to work Miller away so that if he misses, it's just going to be a ball. Even though Miller can't extend his arms and reach that pitch, much rather take that chance than have something right down the heart of the plate. The 2-0 will miss high. 3-0. Shoemaker still nibbling. Layton will get the sign from his dugout. Send it to Shoemaker. He comes set and delivers. The 3-0 was right down Broadway, and being almost a 400 hitter, Miller given the green light to swing away, and he will foul it off. 3 balls and 1 strike here. Shoemaker with his set stance kind of closed himself off a home, but it does drive everything toward the plate whenever he kicks and fires. Run the count full here. On deck batter for Lindenwood will run over and pick up that foul ball, return it to the dugout, and hopefully they got a couple dry towels there. They're going to need them today. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 1 out. The runner at second is Schulte. The runner at first, Nowak. The pitch. Spoiled by Miller. Next pitch will be the longest at bat by any Lindenwood Lion against Shoemaker today at 7 pitches. Although they have been doing a good job getting deep into the counts, most are seeing 4 to 5 pitches every at bat. The lone exceptions have been Schulte and Mitchell Krebs. The 3-2 is sent into right. It's going to be caught on his glove side by Gagan. Play at the plate, sliding in, and being cut down at the plate is Calvin Nowak. And that will end the third on a phenomenal 9-2 double play. What an offensive performance right there by Troy Gagan to catch the ball on his glove side, transfer all his momentum, and throw it home. To the top of the 4th, it's Missouri Southern 2, Lindenwood nothing. Back after this on the MIAA Network.
Label me.
You know you want to.
Don't be shy.
You do it behind my back.
Say it to my face. You don't know me. You know what I am?
I'm a pitcher.
I'm a striker.
I'm a point guard.
I'm a linebacker.
I'm a setter.
Shortstop.
High jumper.
Wrestler.
Defender.
Goalie.
Student.
Student athletes.
That's who we are.
It's not about where you were born. It's not about your gender or the color of your skin, or whether you're rich, poor, or in the middle. No matter what you play, if you have the skill and drive to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
With Million making a great diving catch yesterday, and today Gagan making a phenomenal catch and throw out of home. Leading things off was Matt Miller, and he flied out harmlessly to Nowak in left field on the first pitch just now. So now the batter is the designated hitter, Caleb Nutting. Nutting hit a double in his last at-bat. That was a very sharp double. Eventually came around to score on the single by John Layton. Gave Missouri Southern a 1-0 lead. First pitch of this at-bat in there for a strike. Nutting went to third on a wild pitch. Oh, 1-0, 1-1 is the count now against Nutting, the left-hand hitter. Coming out from Webb City, Missouri, a 6'1 junior. The 1-1 swung on and missed, 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2, that's soared into left field, going over is Nowak. Settling under it, makes the catch for out number 2. Back-to-back flyouts to Calvin Nowak in left field. And looking at his first 1-2-3 inning, he is Brody Roach. Got to get through John Layton, the catcher of Missouri Southern, though. And Layton hit a single in his last at-bat. He'll swing at the first pitch and foul it out of play. Layton just under 300 coming in at 299. That's got to be frustrating for some hitters, as 300 is the magical number to be viewed as an exceptional hitter. The 1-1, that's a breaking ball that's kind of spins out of the hand of Roach and stays up. 2 balls and 1 strike now. Right hand hitter, Layton, will soar the 2-1 straight up and out of play. For Lindenwood in the bottom of the 4th. They'll have Stevens, Fisher, and Beckman. Long look in as catcher Sosnowski by Roach, and the pitch is a fastball on the lower corner. A very late strike 3 call, but right there. So going down looking is Layton. To the bottom of the 4th, it's 2-0 Missouri Southern. Back after this with more of the 2019 MIAA Baseball Championship.
There are over 480,000 college athletes. Only 2% would go pro. That means over 470,000 will not get a shoe contract. No autographs. No private jets. No fan clubs. No Hall of Fame inductions. Instead, they will walk away with something much more valuable.
Hasty Awards has been proud to be the official award supplier to the MIAA for 7 years, and we're happy to supply you and your organization with all your award needs. Whether you're ordering for your individual youth sports team or placing a custom medal order, we have you covered. As always, you have our lowest price guarantee, highest quality awards, exceptional service, and our hasty turnaround. We are ready to serve you for your next event, no matter how large or small. Hasty Awards is the #1 source for all your award and recognition needs.
First 1-2-3 inning for Brody Roach in the top of the 4th, and they'll come back here with the Lindenwood Lions training the Missouri Southern Lions and score 2-0. Each team able to get a couple hits in a couple innings, but thus far only Missouri Southern has been able to get the runners across. Leading things off for Lindenwood will be the designated hitter, Kyle Stevens, who had a sharp single to begin the 2nd. Eventually got to 3rd, but was left stranded. First pitch that he sees from the left-handed sophomore of Zach Shoemaker will miss outside, ball 1. The 1-0. That's sent into shallow right center field, and diving and making another catch is Mike Million. Flashing the leather and a hat tip. What a catch by Mike Million, sacrificing body and mind to make that catch. Holy cow. He went flying from left center field into right center field, and take a look at that full body extension and coming up with the snag, holding on to it after hitting the turf. What a catch. Back-to-back phenomenal defensive plays by the Lions here to end the 3rd and to begin the bottom of the 4th. Batter now will be Neil Fisher. He was very quickly down the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Long look in at Layton after Fisher digs back in. The 0-2. That's a curveball that does not have the full grip from Shoemaker. It will stay outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 on the lower outside corner, strike 3. Fisher not happy with it, and he'll let the home plate umpire know, but it's the same pitch that Layton was rung up on to end the top of the 4th. So the umpire is being consistent there behind the plate. There's Bryce Beckman now. And he'll watch fastball be pumped in there for a strike. That strikeout of Fisher was the 5th by Shoemaker thus far. 0-1 missing outside. We're all square at 1 ball and 1 strike. Catcher Sosnowski in the on-deck circle. If Beckman can reach, he'll put one foul of first. Beckman struck out swinging back in the second. He was the third strikeout victim of Shoemaker. The 1-2. Foul tip caught by Layton, and it's yet another strikeout of Beckman by Zach Shoemaker. 1, 2, 3. Go the Lindenwood Lions to the top of the fifth. It's 2-0 Missouri Southern. Back after this on the MIAA Network.
NCAA Teamworks is how the NCAA, member schools, student athletes, and corporate champions and partners actively engage in outreach efforts where national championships are played. Through initiatives such as NCAA Community 101 service learning projects, disaster relief efforts, youth clinics, backpack and school supply donations, and support of the Special Olympics and the Make-A-Wish Foundation, the NCAA and its partners work together to leave a lasting legacy in the community. For more information on NCAA Teamworks, go to ncaa.com/teamworks.
We've got our heads in the game,
Our minds in the classroom,
our hands in the community,
and our feet ready for the world.
We're a part of the NCAA Division II experience.
Using our skills
at our universities and in our communities. I chose the MIAA.
I chose the MIAA. MIAA, the spirit of our communities.
4 complete here at Al Ortolani Field. Dreary morning. And the Missouri Southern Lions leading the Lindenwood Lions by a score of 2-0. Still nobody down in the Lindenwood bullpen. So it's all on the right arm of freshman pitcher Brody Roach right now. Leading things off will be Ryan Hunter for Missouri Southern. He watched a strike go by at the knees. Shifting over as if to play him to pull, it's second baseman Krebs. The 0-1 is sent out of play on the left side. So it will be no balls and 2 strikes against Hunter, who flew out to left in his first at-bat, and that ended the second inning. The 0-2 grounded right toward Krebs, who was positioned perfectly. We'll take a couple shuffle steps and sling it over to Fisher at first for out number 1. That's the 7th straight batter retired by Brody Roach. Unfortunately, one of those was a sacrifice fly that scored a run. The runner who scored, the batter right here, Mike Million. And he'll take the first pitch and send it down the line and right, and running to give chase, and not quite getting there. Oh, is the right fielder Bryce Beckman, and he slid hard into that wall and a little slow to give up. Beckman and Fisher, the first baseman, were both running after it. And Beckman couldn't quite get the proper read, and he slid when he realized he wasn't going to make the catch, but it was just a bit too late, and he slid hard into that wood fence, separating the playing surface from the Missouri Southern Lions bullpen down there along the right field line. But great hustle there by Million. So now stepping back in there will be Million, but first he's going to put a little more pine tar on his bat handle as it was washed off whenever he tossed the bat onto this wet turf here at Al Ortolani Field. Lights on for the second time of the morning game in this tournament. Did the same thing on Thursday. The 0-1 spiked in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strikes. Freddie Landers, the third baseman, is on deck. Million 1 for 2 today. Flew out to left, singled. Eventually came around to score on the sacrifice fly by Gagan. 1-1. Called strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's tough for these two head coaches, Bryce Darnall of Missouri Southern and Doug Bletcher of Lindenwood, as you have to win today to succeed, but if you win, you immediately have a game following this. So you really got to manage your bullpen to figure out how you need to play the rest of this tournament, as you are playing 2 games a day for each of these teams if you continue to win. The 1-2 curveball that started on the outside edge and then broke into the left-hand batter's box. Runs the ball 2 balls and 2 strikes. You have to win this game. That's the first thing you got to focus on. But you also have to have a little bit of a mind for the future and figuring out how can you succeed after this. The 2-2 inside. It's now 3 balls and 2 strikes. Because if you win today, you'll then play immediately after against Central Missouri. If you win that one, then you have to play Central Missouri again tomorrow. Foul ball out of play. 3 balls and 2 strikes. At 9 a.m. And if you win that one, you'd be in the championship game at 4. So very tough uphill climb for not only Missouri Southern and Lindenwood, but also Pittsburg State and Missouri Western, who play in the other losers game. That'll start at approximately 4:30. A 3-2 missing inside, drawing a 1-out walk is Million. Freddie Landers is up. And there are going to be some pitchers on each of these staffs, the aces, who are going to be chomping at the bit, wanting to go again and pitch as soon as possible, to get them a win. First pitch to Landers is sent into center field. Gets to Miller on a couple of hops. He'll field it and make a strong throw over to third. And that'll keep it to runners just advancing 90 feet. Once again, runners on first and second with less than 2 outs. Missouri Southern having a chance here to bust the game wide open. This following a 1-2-3 fourth that Brody Roach had. Batter is Troy Gagan. 1 for 1 officially with a single in the first, had a sacrifice fly scoring Million in the third, and then had a whale of a defensive play. He's going to check swing over to the shortstop second baseman Krebs. Krebs is going to go to second for 1, and the ball is going to be caught, and they'll say the runner going to second, Landers, is out. That Schulte lost it on the transfer. So it's a 4-6 fielder's choice, and couldn't see from that replay. It was a pretty quick, but the umpire was right there. So then the batter will be Denver Coffey. Runners at the corners with 2 outs now. Runner at first is Gagan. Runner at third, Million. Coffey's last at-bat saw him strike out swinging and be retired 2-3 as it got away from the catcher Sosnowski. Takes a healthy hack and will foul it out of play. And his other at-bat, Coffey fouled out to Sosnowski behind the plate, and that ended the first. No balls, 1 strike, 2 on, 2 out here in this top of the 5th. Ground ball through the middle past a diving Schulte. Rounding first, second, and heading for third, and getting there with a head fish slide where he has to hold on to the bag is Gagan, and then taking second on the throw is Coffey, giving the Lions 2 more runners in scoring position. Aggressive base running by Missouri Southern today, coming in with the fire and the fury of not believing they should be in this loser's bracket game, thinking they should be not only waiting for their opponent for this afternoon, but also the number 1 seed in this tournament, as they were fighting with Central Missouri, and it came down to the final weekend where Missouri Southern lost 2 of 3 before they ended up with this 2 seed. So now the batter, Dexter Swims, who's 0 for 2, grounding at second, and a line out to short. On a nice defensive play by Schulte, that line out ended the inning and also kept the lead then to 2-0. Now it's 3-0 Missouri Southern. The 1-0 grounded to Schulte at short. He'll catch it on chest high hop and wing it over to Fisher to retire the side, but not before the Lions tack on one more. It's Missouri Southern 3, Lindenwood nothing. Back after this here on the MIAA Network.
NCAA Teamworks is how the NCAA, member schools, student athletes, and corporate champions and partners actively engage in outreach efforts where national championships are played. Through initiatives such as NCAA Community 101 service learning projects, disaster relief efforts, youth clinics, backpack and school supply donations, and support of the Special Olympics and the Make-A-Wish Foundation, the NCAA and its partners work together to leave a lasting legacy in the community. For more information on NCAA Teamworks, go to ncaa.com/teamworks.
We've got our heads in the game,
Our minds in the classroom,
our hands in the community,
and our feet ready for the world.
We're a part of the NCAA Division II experience,
Using our skills
at our universities and in our communities. I chose the MIAA.
I chose the MIAA.
MIAA, the spirit of our communities.
Now, the score is 3-0 Missouri Southern, but it could very easily be worse as they have left 8 runners on base in this early going. They've had 7 hits, handful of walks. Leading things off for Lindenwood is Ryan Sosnowski, the catcher. First pitch that he sees from Shoemaker will be fouled down the first base line. Sosnowski will take a deep breath, compose himself, and step back in. He singled in his last at-bat, and he'll swing over the top of a breaking ball there. Sosnowski's single had sent Kyle Stevens to third, but that was the end of that, as Ryan Vinay, the on-deck batter, struck out swinging to end the bottom of the second. The 0-2, that is a breaking ball that stays out. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sosnowski, a .243 hitter coming into today. Ball high, 2-2. Sosnowski doesn't strike out a whole lot, only 23 times on the year. He also has 23 walks. The 3-2 check swing on a breaking ball that dove down and in against him, ended up over the middle of the plate. Shoemaker will take a long look in at Layton. The pitch on the inside corner, ripped through the left field, right between the Landers, the third baseman, and Coffey, the shortstop, the old 5-5 hole. Tony Gwynn The late great Tony Gwynn of the San Diego Padres. He used to make absolute murder just driving baseballs through that hole. Take a look at it one more time. That was the third ball. And that next pitch was right down the middle, and Sosnowski was able to pull it through. Curveball will start off the at-bat with Vinay. The ball's in 1 strike. Middle infield set for a double play. Conservative lead over at first by Sosnowski, still held by Miller. The 0-1 gets away from Layton. Going down to second is Sosnowski, and he will stop there. Ball ran away from Layton toward the Lindenwood dugout, but he got there as quick as he could, reading it off the carom of the backstop. So it's 1 ball and 1 strike, and Lindenwood has a runner in scoring position for the second time today with less than an out. Pass ball on Layton. The 1-1, he'll ground it to the first baseman Miller. That's a successful and productive out by Vinay, sending Sosnowski to third. Now there's 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. Lindenwood trying to get 1 run back here and slowly make the climb to win the game. Batter will be Calvin Nowak, who hit a single in the 3rd, his only at bat thus far. All 1 against Nowak. Long look in to Layton by Shoemaker. The pitch fouled out of play. Brisk morning. All the fans who are here bundled up in multiple layers, and some of them even have blankets. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 on, 1 out. The pitch. That'll be yanked foul. Nowak well ahead of that off-speed pitch, and he just pulls it into the Missouri Southern dugout. Zach Shoemaker standing now on the first base side of the rubber, looking in for the sign. Checks the runner as he comes set. The 1-2. That's a little humpback liner over to Swims at second, and that is not what Nowak wanted to do there. As that was in the air, but it was a weak little pop fly. Swims was able to come in and catch it easily. Comes up Colby Schulte. Schulte takes the first pitch he sees, sends it high and out of play, just beyond Missouri Southern dugout. No balls and 1 strike. Schulte on the day, 1 for 2. He has singled in the 3rd and struck out swinging in the 1st. In the last 2 games, well, game and a half, we'll call this one since it's still in progress, Schulte has struck out 3 times and only has 2 hits. Ball high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Shoemaker will come set and deliver. Missing low. Ball 2. Big presence on the mound with Zach Shoemaker. 6'4", 200 pounds. Sophomore out of Aurora, Missouri, and a graduate of Aurora High School. The 2-1. That's grounded. Foul a 3rd. And into the corner and left. There are a couple Lindenwood Lion pitchers down in their bullpen now. None of them have started doing any warm-ups. Just kind of sitting in there waiting for the call. I guess runner would be the more accurate term, as there are no phones between the dugouts and bullpens. 2-2 high, 3-2. One of them does have his warm-up off, but not really going through any motions to either stretch or loosen up. The 3-2 high ball 4, and Schulte will work a 2-out walk to put runners at the corners. Second time this game Lindenwood has had such a setup. First time was back in the second inning, and eventually the runners were left stranded. Now the second baseman, Mitchell Krebs, will dig in. Krebs, the savior of Lindenwood, had a solo home run in the top of the ninth to win it for him. And he'll roll over it right to the first baseman, Miller, to end the bottom of the fifth. Once more, Lindenwood can get runners at the corners, but they can't get them in. So to the sixth we go. It's Missouri Southern 3, Lindenwood nothing. Back with more of the 2019 MIAA Baseball Championship after these messages.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
Top of the sixth here. Missouri Southern leading Lindenwood 3-0. The Southern Pride Alliance having the upper paw right now. Scored 3 runs on 7 hits. Meanwhile, Lindenwood has no runs on 5 hits. Leading things off for Missouri Southern here in the top of the sixth. It'll be the first baseman, Matt Miller. Miller thus far is 0 for 2, having popped out to third and flown out to left. He'll watch the 0-1 miss just low. 1 ball, 1 strike. There is Lindenwood Lion up and throwing now. Woo. 1 ball, 2 strikes now on Miller after he watches that pitch go through the zone. The 0-1-2 low, 2-2. Throwing in the Lindenwood bullpen. Appears to be Tyler Kassmeyer, a sophomore out of Teos, Missouri. The 2-2 is at the top of the zone, strike 3, and Miller is not happy with that. Exhaling strongly as he walks back to the dugout. So now it'll bring Caleb Nutting up. Nutting is 1 for 2, a double in the second, and a fly out to left in the fourth. That strikeout of Miller was the 3rd one by Roach today. far cry from his counterpart in Zach Shoemaker, who has 6. The 2-0 will be just to the right of first base foul. That's 2 balls and 1 strike. Ball out of the hand of the Missouri Southern bench player who was charged with running down and picking it up. We will get a fresh baseball to Roach, reset, and do it again. The 2-1. That one soared out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes here. Roach will look in and get the sign from Sosnowski and deal outside. It'll run the count full, 3-2. Brody Roach really has not had a stress-free inning besides the first and the fourth. The 3-2. That's grounded. Schulte's going to get it behind second on the first base side, and in time for the out. Schulte benefited from the fact that the runner was the designated hitter. So not the fleetest of foot, because he had to run a long way in order to get there. So he was shifted in a standard position at short, and the second baseman Krebs was shaded over toward first. So now there are 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. And the catcher, John Layton, will come up and foul the first pitch out of play. Layton is 1 for 2, a single, and he struck out looking on a pitch on the low outside corner in the 4th. The 0-1 once more fouled out of play. This one into the netting. Missouri Southern coming into this tournament a little bit of a stumble as they were in the #1 seed and had a very late season swoon, high and tight chin music to Layton there. They came into the tournament, they won relatively easily against Northwest Missouri 4-0. Then yesterday when they met up with Central Oklahoma, the 3 seed, they didn't have much luck, and a big curveball hits that low outside corner, and once again Layton goes down looking to end an inning. To the bottom of the 6th, it's Missouri Southern 3, Lindenwood 0. Back on the MIAA Network after this.
These are your teams, your players, your community of fans. This is where they play, where they practice, where you cheer. At every meet, every event, every game. Your community is passionate, dedicated, supportive. You know the tension of a close game and the thrill of the win. So while you're cheering, keep an eye out for anything out of the ordinary. If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
We've got our heads in the game,
Our minds in the classroom,
our hands in the community,
and our feet ready for the world.
We're a part of the NCAA Division II experience.
Using our skills
at our universities and in our communities. I chose the MIAA.
I chose the MIAA. MIAA, the spirit of our communities.
Here's another look at that strikeout of Layton, and see it right there on the knees at the outside corner. Layton nodding his head as if to say, okay, now I know where that is. That's beneficial to him as he is the catcher for Missouri Southern, so he knows where he could set up and get that call. Currently his team leading Lindenwood 3-0 as we are set to begin the bottom of the 6th. First hitter up will be DJ Miller. And Miller is 0 for 2, a strikeout swinging, and then he was part of a phenomenal double play to end the bottom of the 3rd. Started the right fielder Troy Gagan, the 1-0, low 2-0. Gaggin on that fly ball. Came charging in, caught it on his glove side, and put all his momentum behind the throw, getting it to Layton at the plate in time to cut down the runner, tagging and trying to score from third, Calvin Nowalk. 3-0 on Miller, and this time on the 3-0, he'll watch a strike go by. Last time he was up 3-0, he fouled it, took a swing and fouled it away. 3-1, just missing it was Miller, and he knows it too, walking with his head down as he exits the batter's box. Now he'll dig back in, try to get back in the right mindset. The 3-2 on the way from Shoemaker. On the lower outside corner, strike three. Miller knows it. Smacks his bat head in the dirt as he walks back to the dugout. He's seen that called all afternoon, but he hasn't, unable to pull the trigger. First out of the inning, and the 7th strikeout registered by Shoemaker. He'll come back with another breaking ball, this one right down the heart of the plate, to Kyle Stevens, the designated hitter. He was 1 for 2 and a single, and he was robbed by a phenomenal defensive play by Mike Million, the center fielder. Million ran all the way to his left and extended full body to make a catch in the gap. The 1-0 slider on the inside corner at the knees, 1 ball, 2 strikes, and Stevens a little frustrated with that. Now he'll dig in. Defense straight away. The 1-2 swung on and missed over the top of the big breaking ball that Shoemaker decided to go with this time. Strikeout number 8 for the sophomore, and he is cruising right now. He's allowed 2 base runners since the 3rd inning, but he's been able to work around it very well, not letting the runners on phase him. Ball 1 to Neil Fisher, the first baseman. Fisher flown out to center and struck out looking. The 1-0 sent down the line and right, and will end up well out of play. For Missouri Southern in the top of the 7th, it will be the 9-1-2 hitters, Hunter, Million, and Landers. 1 ball and 2 strikes here on Fisher. With nobody on and 2 out, Lindenwood's season slowly closing before their eyes. They'll foul that into the netting and stay away. 1 ball and 2 strikes still. Zach Shoemaker dealing right now. The pitch. That's line past Coffey's outstretched arm into left field. A 2-out single for Neil Fisher. Now Bryce Beckman, the right fielder, will come up and try and keep things going. Just a look at it. Just a beautiful compact swing. Short and to the ball. Fisher was able to get around on it and pull it into left. First pitch Beckman sees, he'll knuckle the other way. Caught on the bare hand off a couple hops by a Missouri Southern Lion bench player, and that fired him up. Beckman, a strikeout victim in the 2nd and in the 4th. 0-1 is a curveball that'll bounce away from Layton. It's rolling all the way in front of Missouri Southern's dugout. Going to 2nd on the pass ball is Fisher. So once more, Lindenwood will have a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. A but they have to capitalize here. Second baseman Swibbs trying to hold the runner to the 1-1. Grounded, going to be tough play. Coming over to get it is the first baseman Miller. Toss over to first, not in time. Head first slide by Beckman, and he's in, but he is hurt. He had his hand stepped on. And that is a dangerous play, sliding head first into first base. You're always faster to run, and there's no chance of that happening. You can see it right here. He dives in, and his hand gets stepped right on by the pitcher, Shoemaker, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's why Shoemaker didn't make that catch. Toss was a little behind him by Miller, to where Shoemaker had to try and barehand it, but he stepped squarely on the hand of Bryce Beckman as Beckman's hand went over the top of first base. And if you've never done it, stepping on a hand feels much different than stepping on a base. Runner at third on the infield single is Neil Fisher. And Fisher is talking with third baseman Landers over there while Beckman gets looked at by the Lindenwood trainer. And Beckman will stay in the game, but he is going to be feeling that for a while. His left hand was what was stepped on. And for him, thankfully, the left hand is his glove hand. You hate to say thankfully in a situation like that because it's not good that his hand was stepped on, but for Lindenwood and their fans, it could have been worse. If he stepped on his throwing hand, his day could be done. You can still kind of squeeze your hand in a glove if you've had been stepped on, but it is a little more difficult. So it's runners at the corners with 2 outs, and the batter is Ryan Sosnowski. Throw over to first, and standing up back into first is Beckman. Not really wanting to slide, still holding that left hand of his that I am sure is in quite an amount of pain. His batting glove probably prevented his hand being punctured by the metal cleats of Shoemaker. The ball's first pitch by Sosnowski is sent into shallow right field. Gagan will get underneath it and grab it with 2 hands. And once more, runners at the corners with 2 outs, but Lindenwood can't get anything done. At the end of 6, it's Missouri Southern 3, Lindenwood 0. Back with more baseball here on the MIAA Network.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
Top of the 7th here, and the score is 3-0. Missouri Southern over Lindenwood. Ryan Hunter will begin things for Missouri Southern. Still on the mound is Brody Roach. Throwing in the Lindenwood bullpen is, I believe, Tyler Kastmeyer. Then up and throwing off and on for last inning. Might be ready to come in the moment that a runner reaches against Roach, which could be very soon as the count is 3-0 against Hunter. Hunter 0 for 2. A fly out to left and a ground out to second. The 3-0 on the outside corner, strike one. Very few guarantees in life. One is on a 3-0 count. 9 times out of 10, the batter will take the 3-1. Foul into the dang. Missouri Southern has scored 1 in the second, 1 in the third, 1 in the fifth. But they've had runners on in the first, second, third, and fifth. The 3-2 spoiled by Hunter. Beyond the left field fence appears to be Central Missouri. The 3-2 sent right back through the pitcher's box, throwing up his glove to try and get the catch was Roach, and he comes up just a bit short, and it's a leadoff single for Ryan Hunter and the Missouri Southern Lions. That was a screamer right back up the middle. Take a look at it again, and you can see Roach ducking his head and throwing his glove up, but coming up empty. Not happy with the pitch call. Stepping off now is Roach, and also coming over is his first baseman Fisher. And this is just a delay tactic to let the pitcher up in the Lindenwood bullpen get the last few pitches in that they need. Now stepping on the rubber is Roach. Now timeout called, and coming out to make a pitching change is Lindenwood head coach Doug Pletcher. 6 innings, a 3-run ball for Brody Roach, and on any other day that might be enough to get the win, but today he leaves with the L hanging on him unless his teammates can get some runs across in a hurry. So we'll step aside for the pitching change and come back after this break with the continuation of the 7th inning here on the MIAA Network.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not run Division II cross country for the University of Mount Olive. Having an athletic and academic scholarship was key for my success. Our coaches were really helpful with balancing out my academics and athletics. I decided to attend graduate school because I wanted to become an athletic director. Receiving the postgraduate scholarship through the NCAA provided me with the flexibility to choose the school that I wanted. So now I know that I can accomplish any goal that I set for myself.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
New pitcher here in the top of the 7th for Lindenwood is Tyler Kastmeyer, sophomore out of Teos, Missouri, 6'3", 175 right-hander. It's his second appearance in this championship tournament. He pitched on Thursday against Central Oklahoma. Kastmeyer will have the difficult task of keeping this a 3-run game right now. First batter he's going to face is Mike Million, and Million bunts it foul into the netting. Million today is 1 for 2. He's flown out to left, hit a single and drawn a walk. Both times that he has reached base, he's come around to score. In at third is Vinay, and now swinging away is Million, and he'll send it beyond the dugout along the first base line. Game following this one will be against Central Missouri, who are set up and doing some warm-ups and stretches. There's a few drills on the PSU softball field out beyond the left field fence here of Al Ortolani Field. Not happy with the delay between pitches by Kastmeyer. Million will ask for time, and he granted it. Runner on first, nobody out. No balls, 2 strikes. The batter is Ryan Hunter. The 0-2, a pitch out. Ball 1. And now shifting back into a more traditional defense are the Lindenwood Lions, with Vinay stepping back at third and Schulte and Krebs pinched up towards second base. The 1-2 curveball hangs the K on Million on the inside corner. He thought it was a ball. He stepped out to try and get a sign and then heard the call, and he has started walking back toward the dugout. That's the first strikeout for Kastmeyer. Next it'll be Freddie Landers, the third baseman. Another Lindenwood Lion up and throwing in the pen. That one appears to be J.P. Schneider. No, excuse me, Eric Hipp. Kastmeyer's first pitch to Landers is a ball. Landers is a senior from Grays Lake, Illinois. Comes to Missouri Southern from Savannah State. 2 balls and no strikes on Landers now. He'll look down, get the sign, and dig in. Kastmeyer checks the runner at first. Comes set and deals, taking off his Million at first. Ball hit into right field. Diving attempt by Miller. It's going to get by him to the wall. Racing around third is Million. Coming around second and into third base with a head-first slide is Freddie Landers, and Missouri Southern leads 4-0. And very slow to get up out there in center field was DJ Miller, and he is bent over, doubled at the waist. Whenever he made that dive, it looked like he may have rolled over his wrist of his throwing hand, because he did not try to get up right away at all. And coming out to check on him in center field is both head coach Bill Fletcher as well as the Lindenwood training staff. And Miller is holding his right arm down and flexing, trying to keep feeling in it as well as work out whatever might be wrong. So currently the score stands, it is 4-0. Missouri Southern. They have a runner on third with only 1 out. They could really start to put this game away here with another couple runs, being up 4-0 in the bottom of the 7th. Here testing the arm strength and hand strength of Miller out there, and he will stay out there stretching his wrist, trying to work out whatever may be ailing him at the moment. Kazmaier will take this opportunity to throw a few more warm-up pitches and get adjusted to the mound here on the field, as well as stay loose and warm. Batter now will be Trey Gagnon. He was 1 for 2. Gagnon singled in the first, had a sac fly in the third, then reached via fielder's choice in the 5th. Infield once more will be brought in by Lindenwood. Big breaking ball stays away. 1 ball, no strikes on Gagnon here. Gagnon started a phenomenal double play to end the bottom of the 3rd, when it looked like Lindenwood might be able to score and cut into the then 2-0 lead Missouri Southern had, but he was able to make a great catch off the bat of DJ Miller, and then made a very strong throw home to cut down Calvin Nowak, who was trying to tag up and score. Now with the count 2 balls and no strikes, we'll have a mound visit, trying to allow Eric Hipp, who was up and throwing in Lindenwood's bullpen, more time to get ready. Now the mound conference will break up. Missouri Southern, and they're at their dugout. Zach Shoemaker is trying to stay warm and loose by throwing a few pitches just outside of their dugout during the stoppage. So the last thing he wants to do is, whenever he's warm, come in completely cold and lose this lead. It's 3 balls and no strikes now on Gagnon. Ryan Hunter, the runner who scored, will be credited to starting pitcher Brody Roach. Now the runners that are on, if they score, will go against Kazmaier, as Gagnon draws a 1-out walk, and that is going to be Kazmaier's day. He faces 3 batters, gets 1 strikeout, but then allows a triple and issues a walk. That will do it for his afternoon. Pitching changes coming quickly and often now, as Lindenwood is fighting for their seasonal life. They'll step aside for another break and come back on the other side of this pitching change with more baseball here on the MIAA Network. New pitcher is Eric Hipp, junior out of Oakville, Missouri. 190-pound right-hand pitcher. He's here to make sure that This runs deficit stays at 4. And because of how long this top of the 7th is gone, going down to play catch and stay loose. And the Missouri Southern bullpen is their starting pitcher, Zach Shoemaker. It's cold, and sitting for as long as he has could be detrimental to his ability to throw. Batter up is Denver Coffey, who's 1 for 3, and he will swing at the first pitch and foul it out of play. Coffey has popped out to the catcher, struck out swinging, and then hit a single. Ended up at second on that single because of a throw to third base. As Troy Gagnon was being aggressive on the base paths, going first to third. Taking off from first is the runner Gagnon, and it gets away from Sosnowski. A stolen base for Troy Gagnon, and right now Missouri Southern is all about scoring runs, and I think they're trying to get to the 10-run rule here in the 7th in this game soon. Hip will come set and deal. Low and away, 2 balls, 1 strike. Runner at second is Gagnon. Runner at third, Landers. Landers hit a triple. That scored Ryan Hunter, who led off the bottom of the 7th with a single. Coffey creates a ground ball underneath the glove of Vinay at third into left field. 1 run is in, and having to quickly turn on his brakes and put his hand on the bag is Troy Gagnon. It's a single by Denver Coffey, and now Missouri Southern is up 5-0. And still only 1 out here. They have runners at the corners. Dexter Swims will come up, trying to add to the hit parade. He's 0 for 3, grounding out to second, grounding out to short, and lining out to short. And it's stealing second base is Denver Coffey. Like I said, I'm pretty sure right now Missouri Southern is trying to get to that magical number of 10, where this game will end. They are all fired up, really trying to work this game. That was a great feet first slide on a perfect read by Coffey. It's no balls and 2 strikes after Swims tips it into the catcher's mitt. Line out to short in the third, into the bottom of the third by Swims, and it was a nice sliding catch by Schulte going into the hole. The 0-2 is a curved ball that just missed outside. Looked to be about in the same location that had been the low outside corner throughout the majority of this game. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes, runners on second and third. The pitch. Ground ball through the middle of the brought in infield. Diving was Vinay. Coming in to score from third is Gagnon. Going to third is Coffey. 6-0. And the Lions have blown this game wide open. The Missouri Southern Lions have blown this game wide open, I should say. Once again, taking a look at it, these Southern Lion hitters are all over Eric Kipp's pitching right now, ripping it to the left side. Batter will be Matt Miller. Miller is 0 for 3, a pop out to third, a fly out to left, and he struck out looking in the 6th. Throw over to first, diving back in is Swims. Infield is back for Lindenwood. They're going to try and play for the double play and end the inning. First pitch from Hip is a strike. If Miller can reach, Caleb Nutting, the designated hitter, will step in. Defense is straight away for Lindenwood. The 0-1 low, and there's a good block by Sosnowski. Started to go down to his knees, but realized the ball was going to come up on him, so he was able to stop and get his glove turned over and block it. Matt Miller, 220-pound freshman, standing in at 6'4", from Aurora, Missouri. Taking off from first is Swims, and the ball will be foul. Out of play. So Swims will have to retreat to first, and they will reset and do it again. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hip sets up on the right third base side of the rubber. Gets the sign, comes set. Long pause. Now he kicks and deals. Ball low and in. A little bit of an overthrow by Eric Hip there, as he brought it all the way across his body and ended up missing low and in. Miller trying to add to the game. Ball high, steal a second with no throw from Dexter Swims. A great jump. Even though the pitch was high and outside, there was no chance for Swims to be cut down. That is the third stolen base, that Missouri Southern has had this inning, and all of them have come off Eric Hip. The 3-2 spoiled. Only 1 out here in the top of the 7th. Even if Missouri Southern gets to 10, they will play the bottom of the 7th for Lindenwood to try and score at least 1 and to prevent being run ruled. The 3-2 sent down the line and right. Coming over to get it is Beckman. He'll catch it just in fair territory. Tagging up and advancing is both Coffey and Swims. Run number 7 for Missouri Southern, and the 3rd this inning. They are not done yet. That's a beautiful, beautiful at-bat by Matt Miller. He worked the count full, got something he could handle, sent it deep enough to score the run. Knowing the speed of Coffey at third, didn't have to do a whole lot with it, just get it there, and that's what he did. There are 2 outs now, and the batter will be Caleb Nutting. Nutting is 1 for 3. He doubled back in the 2nd. Flew out to left and grounded to short. And he'll pop one back, looking over to give it a chance, but nothing there were both the pitcher Hip and the catcher Sosnowski. So it's no balls and 2 strikes. Score 7-0. Missouri Southern leading over Lindenwood. Eric Hip will come set and deal. Ground ball to the second baseman Krebs, who fields it and gets it over to Fisher at first in time, but not before Missouri Southern scores 4 to take an 7-0 lead, to the bottom of the 7th. It's Missouri Southern 7, Lindenwood 0. Back after this with more of the 2019 MIAA Baseball Championship.
Label me.
You know you want to.
Don't be shy.
You do it behind my back.
So say it to my face.
You don't know me.
You know what I am?
I'm a pitcher.
I'm a striker.
I'm a point guard.
I'm a linebacker.
I'm a setter.
Shortstop.
High jumper.
Wrestler.
Defender.
Goalie.
Student.
Student athletes.
That's who we are.
It's not about where you were born. It's not about your gender or the color of your skin, or whether you're rich, poor, or in the middle. No matter what you play, if you have the skill and drive to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
It's the bottom of the 7th, and this game is well in hand. Missouri Southern leading 7-0 over Lindenwood. Missouri Southern scored 4 runs in the top of the 7th. They're able to take advantage of some fat balls over the plate and drove them to the outfield. Leading things off for Lindenwood in the bottom of the 7th will be third baseman Ryan Vinny, and he'll foul the first pitch over the newly built facilities for the Pittsburgh State Gorillas along the third baseline. Action in both Lions bullpens. The action in the Missouri Southern one more likely just in the case that starting pitcher Jack Shoemaker is cold and stiff after having to sit for as long as he did. It's no balls and 2 strikes. Appears to be Bradley Hershey down there throwing in the Missouri Southern bullpen. The 0-2 is sent deep into left center field, going after Hunter Emilian, and it will be Hunter who will snag it for out number 1. That was a solid base hit. Solid contact, I should say, by Vinny, but underneath it too much. That allowed Hunter to drift over and make the catch. That's left fielder Calvin Nowak who's up, and he will swing at the first pitch that he sees. It's going over toward the Lindenwood dugout, and it's just out of play. Hitting the top of the dugout for strike 1. If Landers, the third baseman, were about 2 feet taller, he probably could have caught it. But alas, Landers is nothing more than a standard 6'4" person. The 0-1 in there. Strike 2. And I say standard because he 6'4" is still in the normal height of most humans, though he is considered taller than average. The 0-2 past a diving Denver Coffee at short, trying to keep it on the infield. Would have been a single no matter what, I would imagine, but good effort by Coffee to try and knock it down. It's a 1-out single. And now it goes to the top of the order with Colby Schulte. Shoemaker will come set and deal. Curveball nabs the outside edge. Strike 1. After this game, there'll be approximately 45-minute pause while the field gets prepped for the next game, which will be between Central Missouri and the winner of this game, which is looking more and more likely it will be Missouri Southern. 1 ball and 1 strike on Schulte with a runner on first and 1 out. Shoemaker slides and deals the ball, bouncing away from Layton in a headfirst slide. Unnecessary by Nowak, but give him credit for not taking anything for granted. Runner in scoring position with no outs here. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Shoemaker comes set. Checks Nowak at second, and the ball is sent past Coffey into center field, and being held up with a late stop sign is Nowak at third base, and that is the right decision as Million was coming in hard from center field, and Nowak would have been a dead duck at home. You can see it right here. He circled the ball, and just the absolute missile launched from center field. But it's runners at the corners with 1 out here. A situation Lindenwood has found themselves in often. However, they've yet to capitalize. Mitchell Krebs up. Well, catches, just misses the inside corner. Krebs 0 for 2, a ground out to third and a ground out to first. He did lay down a sacrifice bunt in the third. Throw over to first. Back standing up is Schulte. One ball, no strikes. Shoemaker, another throw over to first. Again, standing up is Schulte. Coming in from with Lions bullpen where he was warming up. That's the left-handed pitcher, Justin Taylor. So he may come in the top of the 8th. The 1-0 inside. 2-0, Krebs dancing out of the way of that one. Two balls, no strikes, runners at the corners, 1 out. 2 more Missouri Southern Lions up in their pen. The 2-0 just below the knees, 3 balls and no strikes. And this could be Zach Shoemaker's last batter if he's unable to get the out. The 3-0 in there, 3 balls and 1 strike. Shoemaker, long look in at Leighton as catcher. Gets the sign they likes. He comes set. Kicks, fires, fouled out of play. Count full. Defense in double play depth for Missouri Southern, with Sinks and Coffey hugging second base. Miller at first holding Schulte, and the third baseman Landers even with the bag. The 3-2 spoiled. Defense in the outfield, at least for Missouri Southern, is straight away. And the center fielder Million is playing very shallow. Wanting to throw out the runner at home if he gets a chance, I would assume. Once more, the 3-2 will be fouled out of play. Krebs does have some power. Did hit a home run out to right field yesterday in the top of the 9th to win the game for Lindenwood over Northwest Missouri State, 4-3. Shoemaker will come set. Lifts his leg and deals. Ground ball underneath the glove of Miller at first into right field. 1 run is in, and the goose egg is lifted. Lindenwood scores their first run. Going to second is Schulte. Run coming in is Nowak. That will bring up DJ Miller. And a long, slow walk out to the mound. Coming from the Missouri Southern dugout just to try and give the bullpen some more time to get ready. Entire infield is brought in to get on the same page as well. And Shoemaker may have one extra batter in him at this point. Home plate umpire has determined that the conference has gone on long enough, so he will head out there to break it up, but it disperses before he gets completely to the mound. Everyone will retreat to their positions. And we will get set to continue the bottom of the 7th with Missouri Southern leading Lindenwood 7-1 now, courtesy of the one-out single by Mitchell Krebs. DJ Miller is the batter, who's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Watch strike one go right down the chute. Shoemaker, long looking at Layton. He'll kick and deal, and he'll be sent into the net by Miller. And I wonder if his hand that he hurt whenever he was trying to make that diving catch is bothering him where he can't fully swing. Shortstop Sinks is trying to hold Schulte close to second base. The 0-2. Ball in the dirt. Nice block by Layton back there. I'll make it 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's Schulte at second, Krebs at first. The 2 runners with 1 out. Miller bounces it in front of home. It's picked up by the catcher Layton. Only plays to first, and he gets it there in time. An unintentional swinging bunt, and Miller is in some pain, holding his arm that he hurt with the dive up against his body as he jogs back to first. You can see right there the great quickness by Layton to get out from behind home plate and retire Miller. Kyle Stevens, a designated hitter, the new batter, and he will send a ball way down the line and right, bouncing around the Missouri Southern bullpen. Going to second on the swinging bunt is Krebs, and Schulte advances to third for Lindenwood. As they trail 7-1 here in the bottom of the 7th. Shoemaker kicks, deals, and misses outside. Ball 1. If Stevens can reach, first baseman Neil Fisher will step up. The 0-1. Line into the outfield. 1 run is in. Being waved and held up at the last second is Krebs. So back-to-back So a 2-out single gives Lindenwood their 2nd run of the game. And they are not done just yet. At third now is Krebs. Schulte came in to score. Following the single by Stevens, and being pulled is Kyle Shoemaker, unable to get out of the 7th inning. 6th and 2/3 of an inning for the young sophomore, and he leaves the game leading 7-2. We'll step aside for a break and come back after this with more of the 2019 MIAA Baseball Tournament.
NCAA Teamworks is how the NCAA, member schools, student athletes, and corporate champions and partners actively engage in outreach efforts where national championships are played. Through initiatives such as NCAA Community 101 service learning projects, disaster relief efforts, youth clinics, backpack and school supply donations, and support of the Special Olympics and the Make-A-Wish Foundation, the NCAA and its partners work together to leave a lasting legacy in the community. For more information on NCAA Teamworks, go to ncaa.com/teamworks.
We've got our heads in the game,
Our minds in the classroom,
our hands in the community,
and our feet ready for the world.
We're a part of the NCAA Division II experience.
Using our skills
at our universities and in our communities. I chose the MIAA.
I chose the MIAA. MIAA, the spirit of our communities.
New pitcher for Missouri Southern is the right-handed pitcher Logan Van Way. Van Way, a sophomore out of Webb City, Missouri, standing in at 6'2", 205 pounds, and he'll come in with 2 outs and runners at the corners. His team leading 7-2 in this bottom of the 7th. Both teams have belted 8 hits. However, Missouri Southern been much more efficient scoring with those 11 hits. After this, next game will start approximately 45 minutes following the conclusion of this one, with the winner taking on top-seeded Central Missouri. And you can see right there the fans that are here are bundled up and doing all they can to stay warm using those hot hands packets, covered up with blankets, anything and everything they can do to enjoy this frigid Saturday morning of May with the baseball. First batter that Van Way will face is Neil Fisher. Fisher is 1 for 3. And he'll swing at the first pitch, send it soaring out of play along the third base line. The ball hit a country mile into the air, but it was foul from the moment it left the bat. Van Way standing on the first base side of the rubber with his foot actually on the rubber. Pulls a changeup that has Fisher on his front foot. No balls and 2 strikes, and that is very odd. His right foot, his push-off foot, is halfway on the rubber, halfway on the mound. So his ankle is semi-twisted. Now he'll step off, run through the signs again. Runner at first is Kyle Stevens. The runner at third, Mitchell Krebs. The 0-2, that had some zip on it. Missing low and away though, ball 1. Gets on the rubber. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Score is 7-2. Throw home. Check swing. Ball was at the shoulders of Fisher, and he contemplated swinging at it, but then decided against it. For Missouri Southern in the top of the 8th, it will be the 7, 8, 9 hitters, the 8, 9, 1 hitters in Layton, Hunter, and Million. Fouling it away and staying alive there is Fisher. Everyone who is not on the field is bundled up, trying to keep some warmth and feeling in their body as they get set for their time to possibly put in. The 2-2, grounded softly over to Miller at first. He'll field it with 2 hands and step on the bag to end the bottom of the 7th. Not before, though. Lindenwood is able to get 2 across to the top of the 8th. It's 7-2, Missouri Southern back after this on the MIAA Network.
NCAA Teamworks is how the NCAA, member schools, student athletes, and corporate champions and partners actively engage in outreach efforts where national championships are played. Through initiatives such as NCAA Community 101 service learning projects, disaster relief efforts, youth clinics, backpack and school supply donations, and support of the Special Olympics and the Make-A-Wish Foundation, the NCAA and its partners work together to leave a lasting legacy in the community. For more information on NCAA Teamworks, go to ncaa.com/teamworks.
We've got our heads in the game,
Our minds in the classroom,
our hands in the community,
and our feet ready for the world.
We're a part of the NCAA Division II experience.
Using our skills
at our universities and in our communities. I chose the MIAA.
I chose the MIAA. MIAA, the spirit of our communities.
It is the top of the 8th, and Missouri Southern is leading Lindenwood by a score of 7-2. New pitcher for the Lindenwood Lions is Justin Taylor, a 6'3", 215-pound left-hander out of Hillsboro, Missouri. Batting for Missouri Southern is John Layton. First time for the Lions facing a left-handed batter here in this game from Lindenwood. And Taylor will start with a strike. After Layton, it will be Hunter and Miller. The 0-1 low, 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1, they're going to peel down to first, and they're going to say that he did not go. That was awfully close, but Layton able to check in time. The 2-1, that's in there at the knees. Defensive replacement for Lindenwood in right field is Alex Gospel. He comes in place of Bryce Beckman. The 2-2 swung on and missed. And Taylor strikes out the first batter that he faces. That will begin the top of the 8th. And there will be a pinch hitter for Ryan Hunter. And that is Garen Stevens. So Ryan Hunter's day is done. Stevens will send the first pitch that he sees out of play. Stevens is a 6 foot, 200-pound senior from Thorndale, Ontario, Canada. A graduate of Medway High School. It's 1 ball and 1 strike on Stevens. The 1-1 on the lower outside corner for a strike. Strike that's been there all day. After Stevens, it'll go to the top of the order with Million. 1-2 is past a diving Krebs at second into right field, where Gospel has a little bit of trouble picking it up. And Stevens, the pinch hitter, coming up and doing his job, getting on base. He just kind of threw the bat head out at it and able to come up with it. Take a look at it right here and pack swing. And Krebs was shaded closer towards second. If he's a step or two to his left, he'll make that diving catch. As it is, he was not, so it's a one-out single. Batter now is Mike Million, who is 1 for 3. He's flown out to left and struck out swinging. First pitch is popped up toward third base. Vinay will drift over in foul territory and put it away for out number 2. Now the batter will be Freddie Landers. That's a pitch that Million just got underneath, and wind blowing in from right field kept pushing it this way and eventually was grabbed in foul territory. Freddie Landers, the batter, who is 3 for 4, and he is a home run shy of the cycle. Doubled in the third, singled in the fifth, tripled in the seventh, and he swings that pitch at his shoulders, wanting to get the home run, but comes up empty. He's facing off against the left-handed throwing Justin Taylor. Taylor will come set. And a throw. Dan's trying to steal second, and getting there is Stevens. A great jump by Stevens. Pitch was a ball low, and popping out of his crouch quickly was Sosnowski. And take a look right here. The throw gets there in front of him, but Stevens was able to get his foot on the bag before the tag was applied. The short hop was just a little too far. If it's a few inches closer to second base, where Krebs doesn't have to bring his glove down quite so far, Stevens is thrown out. Game of inches is baseball, and that inches went against it. Lindenwood, 2 balls and 1 strike on Freddie Landers. Check the runner at second by Taylor, and it will be sent out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sir, Central Missouri out on the PSU softball field beyond left field fence. Stretching, getting loose for their game against the winner of this contest. The 2-2 fisted just beyond the edge of the barrier at the far side of the Missouri Southern dugout. There's another look at that replay. You can see the tag there. Maybe the tag was applied before the foot. Very close. Take a look. Ball's in the glove there. I think his foot's on the bag just before the glove hits his belt. 2-2 in the dirt, blocked by Sosnowski. Runs the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Seven to 2 here in the top of the 8th. Missouri Southern leading Lindenwood. The winner will be facing Central Missouri in about an hour after the end of this game. The 3-2 on the inside corner, and Landers will be caught looking for the strikeout. Going to the bottom of the 8th, Missouri Southern leads Lindenwood 7-2. Back after this on the MIAA Network.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
7-2, Missouri Southern leads Lindenwood here in the bottom of the 8th. Pinch hitter Garen Stevens did get a single at the top of the 8th for Missouri Southern, but he stole second and then left stranded. And Stevens will be replaced in left field by Will Larson. Leading things off for Lindenwood in the bottom of the 8th is Alex Gospel, who came in defensively as a replacement for Bryce Beckman in the top of the 8th. Swung on and missed, and very quickly it's no balls and 2 strikes on Gospel, facing off against Logan Van Way. Came out in the bottom of the 7th and got the final out. The 0-2 in and out of the glove of Layton. If Layton holds on to that, probably gets the call there. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Gospel. He'll ground it over to first, where it's scooped up by Miller, and he'll kick the bag for out number 1. Easy ground ball there, fielded by Miller. Watched it all the way into his body, and then was able to run over to the bag before Gospel. So now that's going to bring up the catcher, Ryan Sosnowski. Sosnowski will watch a ball miss low and away. Well, 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out here in this first game of day 3 of the 2019 MIAA Championship Tournament. This is the first of the losers bracket games of the day. The second one will take place later this afternoon against Pittsburgh State and Missouri Western. 2 balls and 1 strike. The winner of the PSU Missouri Western game will take on Central Oklahoma later tonight. The 2-1. That's sent into left field, and that's going to get over the head of Million. Racing around first and pulling into second with a stand-up double is Sosnowski with 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th, and the Lindenwood Lions trying to get a little something going in these last 3 innings. After trailing the entirety of this game, they got 2 in the bottom of the 7th and now have a chance to get another one here in the 8th. Batter will be Ryan Venne, the third baseman, who is 0 for 3. Struck out swinging in the 2nd, grounded out to first in the 5th, and flew out to left in the 7th. The 2-1. The first pitch to Venne is low and in, and Venne has to lay it to avoid being drilled in the foot. Venne on the year is a .225 hitter. He'll ground it to the shortstop, Coffey, and Coffey gets it over to first in time. Going to third is Sosnowski. And there are 2 outs and a runner at third in this bottom of the 8th. Alvin Nowak is the batter. Nowak got cut down in the bottom of the third on a phenomenal defensive play by Troy Gagnon in right field. With DJ Miller up to bat, Miller hit a ball in medium deep right toward the left-hand side of Gagnon that he came in charging on to make the catch, then turned all his momentum coming in and threw a bullet to the catcher Layton that was able to cut down Nowak, who was trying to tag and score from third. Beyond that, it wasn't until the seventh inning Lindenwood really had a chance to score. 1 ball, 1 strike on Nowak. He'll see a fastball catch the top of the zone at his belt. Nowak today is 2 for 3 with 2 singles. Mitchell came around to score in the 7th on the single by Mitchell Krebs. 1-2 on the outside corner, and Nowak knew it. He started walking back toward the dugout. Strikeout number 1 on the day for Van Way. And that's going to do it here in the 8th. To the top of the 9th, it's 7-2. Missouri Southern leading Lindenwood. Back after this on the MIAA Network.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not run Division II cross country for the University of Mount Olive. Having an athletic and academic scholarship was key for my success. Our coaches were really helpful with balancing out my academics and athletics. I decided to attend graduate school because I wanted to become an athletic director. Receiving the postgraduate scholarship through the NCAA provided me with the flexibility to choose the school that I wanted. So now I know that I can accomplish any goal that I set for myself.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
It's the final frame here. Missouri Southern leading Lindenwood by the score of 9-2. Each team has a dozen hits. Missouri Southern being much more efficient with those base knocks. Leading things off for the Lions here in the top of the 9th will be Troy Gagnon. It's followed by Denver Coffey and the second baseman Dexter Swims. Coming out for his second inning of work to start is Justin Taylor. Gagnon will send the first pitch he sees deep into left field, going back, then camping underneath it is Nowak to put it away for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out. Here in the top of the 9th. Bringing up Denver Coffey. Coffey is 2 for 4. Popped out to the catcher, struck out swinging in the 3rd. He's reached with 2 singles. First pitch, low and away, ball 1. Looking to the bottom of the 9th. Lindenwood will have their 1-2-3 hitters up, Schulte, Krebs, and Miller. 1-0 inside, 2-0. Nearly hit Coffey in the knee. Taylor winds and deals, and he'll blow a fastball by Coffey for strike 1. Coffey swung almost out of his shoes at that one. Missouri Southern dugout there as they are waiting for the conclusion of this game and the next one to start. They will take on Central Missouri. 3-1 the count. The junior Taylor trying to keep things at 7-2, give his team a chance to come back in the bottom of the ninth. Count is now full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Wind has changed. Now it's blowing from center field to the right field foul pole. Unseasonable winds all tournament, coming mostly out of the north. 3-2 is a low ball 4, and it'll get to the backstop, and Coffey will take his sweet time getting down to first base and not try to rush and stretch the walk into 2 bases. Extra swims as the batter. Here's a look at Missouri Southern bench. They're feeling rather joyous with how this game has gone in their favor. Swims is 1 for 4 with 2 ground outs, a line out to short, and a single. 1 ball, no strikes to begin this at bat in the top of the ninth. And then with the 6th seed, lost their first game against Central Oklahoma 3-0, eventually won a game yesterday against Northwest Missouri 4-3. Northwest Missouri was the 7 seed. And here they are fighting against the number 2 seed, Missouri Southern Lions, trying to get their way to the championship game tomorrow. Check swing on Swims. They appealed. He did not go around, they said. So count now 2 balls and no strike. Runner over there, Denver Coffey. Batter Dexter Swims. Mound visit taken, as there's one final Lindenwood Lion pitcher getting up and trying to warm up down in their bullpen. 2 balls and no strikes. The 2-0. That's high, 3-0. For Missouri Southern's part, they got here by defeating Northwest Missouri State 4-0 on Thursday, then lost a 2-0 game against Central Oklahoma yesterday. 3 straight hits in the 4th inning, including back-to-back doubles, were the demise of the Missouri Southern Lions. Back-to-back walks by Justin Taylor have put runners at first and second here, with only 1 out in the top of the ninth. Matt Miller will come up, who is 0 for 3. Popped out to third, flew out to left, and he struck out looking. He did hit a sacrifice fly to right, though, and that sacrifice fly scored Denver Coffey. Foul ball down the end of the Missouri Southern dugout. 4 strike 1. Game with Central Missouri against whoever wins this one will follow approximately 45 minutes after the conclusion of this game. The 0-1 is soared on the infield fly rule called, so Miller is out. It will be grabbed by the third baseman Vinny. And now there are 2 outs here in the top of the ninth. And the batter is Callum Nutting. Callum Nutting is 1 for 4. His lone hit a double way back in the 2nd. He did eventually score. That gave Missouri Southern their first lead of the game. Little humpback liner over to Schulte at short. He'll go the short way to second base for the final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, 2 runners left to the bottom of the ninth. It's Missouri Southern 7, Lindenwood 2. Back after this on the MIAA Network.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not run Division II cross country for the University of Mount Olive. Having an athletic and academic scholarship was key for my success. Our coaches were really helpful with balancing out my academics and athletics. I decided to attend graduate school because I wanted to become an athletic director. Receiving the postgraduate scholarship through the NCAA provided me with the flexibility to choose the school that I wanted. So now I know that I can accomplish any goal that I set for myself.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Bottom of the ninth, Logan Van Way is out to try and end this game for Missouri Southern and have them face off against Central Missouri here in about an hour. And Van Way will have the top of the lineup against the Lindenwood Lions. 1, 2, 3, Schulte, Krebs, and Miller. Colby Schulte is 2 for 3. Oh, excuse me, it's a new pitcher in for the Lions. It is Joey Reeves in to end the game against Schulte. Schulte is 2 for 3 with 2 singles. He eventually scored in the 7th inning off the single by Kyle Stevens. The 1-0 is high, 2-0 on Schulte, and that is not how head coach Bryce Darnell wanted Reeves to come in and start this at bat. That will come back into the zone and see it fouled out of play. Lindenwood scored their 2 runs in the 7th inning. Meanwhile, Missouri Southern scored their 7 with 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 5th, and 4 in the 7th. Fly ball out to center field, where Million will settle under and grab it for out number 1. Thing to look at there, a little flash of the letter, catching it on the run shoulder high over his shoulder. Having a bit of fun as they're up 7-2. That's Mitchell Krebs, who's 1 for 3 officially. His one hit a single in the 7th. He also laid down a sacrifice bunt back in the 3rd. Ball 1 on Krebs. There's a look at Million there, who's had a couple phenomenal defensive plays these last couple days. 2 balls and no strikes yesterday against Central Oklahoma. He went flying lengthwise, running back toward the wall to make a catch, and today he laid out in the right field gap to take away extra bases from a Lindenwood hitter. Yep, 2-0, and that's in there for a strike. Three balls and 1 strike on Krebs, who with some late inning heroics yesterday allowed Lindenwood to play today. A solo home run in the top of the 9th, defeating the Bearcats of Northwest Missouri State. It's 3-2 now, as Reeves trying to get through this 9th with a scoreless inning. The 3-2 on the inside corner, and Krebs is rung up. He thought it was ball 4. He had already tossed his bat to the dugout. Now I have to pick it up in the midst of taking his gloves off, and Krebs cannot believe it. That was on the inside corner at the knees, and Krebs, frustrated, thought he should have been drawing the walk. Now there's 2 outs here in the bottom of the 9th. Reeves We'll start off DJ Miller the same way he has his other two batters with a ball. The 1-2, low, 2-0. And Miller tried to make a diving catch of his own earlier today, but came up short. And ever since then, his right arm has been a little ginger. A 2-0 at the knees on the inside corner, 2 balls, 1 strike. And right now, Joey Reeves has been what would be classified as effectively wild. Missing the zone just about everywhere, but seeming to find it at the right time. There's a 3 ball in the dirt. Not quite Rick Wild Thing Vaughn levels of effectively wild, but close. Ground ball deep in the hole at second, picked up by Sims over to first in time. Not in time. It was a quick throw, but it was well up the line and right, and smartly coming off the bag to play the ball was Miller. And he tried to get back for apply the tag. Here you can see it again. Great range shown there by Swims to get to it with a good backhand, but he did not have time to set his feet for a proper throw, and so he airmailed it up the right field line, allowing DJ Miller to get an infield single. Kyle Stevens, the designated hitter, is now up 2 for 4 today, and that's ball 1. Stevens was the batter who was robbed by Million earlier this game in the right field gap. The 1-0 fouled out of play. It's 1-1. After this conclusion, Central Missouri will take the field and face the winner at approximately 2 o'clock. The 1-1 is sent soaring up on the dirt. Taking off the mask and looking for it is Leighton, the catcher, and he'll grab it for the out, and that is the ball game. The Missouri Southern Lions defeat the Lindenwood Lions by a final score of 7-2. We'll step aside for a quick break, come back on the other side with final stats and a setup for the next game. You are watching the MIAA Network. Back here at Alward Lion Field for the final time for this first game. The Missouri Southern Lions defeat the Lindenwood Lions by a score of 7-2. Missouri Southern scored their 7 runs on 12 hits. They committed no errors. They left 8 men on base. The winning pitcher is Zach Shoemaker. He pitched 6 2/3 innings of scoreless baseball. Meanwhile, for the Lindenwood Lions, they scored 2 runs on 13 hits. They stranded 11 runners. They also committed no errors. The losing pitcher was Brody Roach, who went 6 innings and gave up 3 runs. So that's going to do it for this first game. The second game is set to start in approximately 45 minutes, which is about 1:45 p.m., and it will be between Missouri Southern and Central Missouri. So back in about 45 minutes to tune in for Game 2 of this Day 3 of the MIAA Baseball Championship. I've been Shelby White. Hang tight, folks. We'll see you then.
We've got our heads in the game,
Our minds in the classroom,
our hands in the community,
and our feet ready for the world.
We're a part of the NCAA Division II experience.
Using our skills
at our universities and in our communities. I chose the MIAA.
I chose the MIAA. MIAA, the spirit of our communities.
There are over 480,000 college athletes. Only 2% will go pro. That means over 470,000 will not get a shoe contract. No autographs. No private jets. No fan clubs. No Hall of Fame inductions. Instead, they will walk away with something much more valuable.